What the fuck is sleep? I don't even know what that is. Just pull me up over that tree. Hold up and watch that bitch feed.
Hey, shout out What Sleep TV, man. What Sleep TV? Ain't no sleep, motherfucker.
Perry Davis, what's up, man?
Man, what's up? Young Kyree, what's up? What's Sleep TV? You know what I mean? I always say, you know, I follow you, you know what I mean, from a while back, and I don't get caught sleeping, not watching What's Sleep. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you, man. I appreciate you for your time.
Yeah.
You took a long drive to come out here, but I want to, just say this for the people that's watching. What we both doing is both new for both of us, because from what I seen, you're not really too heavy on the internet. As far as like, just doing videos like this just yet. This ain't something that you just been doing like for consistent amount of time, maybe like sure. I have. But what's different for me is that, my content has mainly been centered around people that's just in music. So rappers, producers, maybe some videographers from here and there, but your main thing is real estate, right?
Yeah, real estate for sure.
Well, so what I like to always do with every guest that I have is, if you could just give an introduction to yourself. It can be brief, it can be long. Just give an introduction to yourself, because to get the people watching, just introduction on who Perry Davis.
I might skip it. Yeah, Perry Davis for sure. Holy Ghost lead my life, so I pray I don't tell you nothing wrong. Like I said, been doing real estate since 2018, licensed, but I was doing wholesaling before then, and that check changed my life. You know what I mean? Once I understood that I could make $30,000 off a piece of paper, I got infatuated with it. So by me getting infatuated with it, it's me learning, you know what I mean? It's me spending money, you know what I mean? It's me kind of going all in with everything I had, trying to make sure that I keep it consistent, you know what I mean? So flipping, then I wanted to learn the law. So once I learned the law, you know what I mean? Now I got my license. Once I got my license, I started doing real estate. Now started doing real estate is now about knowing what property management could do for me. You know what I mean? I'm in property management now. And property management is where you have the investors, you have the tenants, and you have owners, you know what I mean? And you're basically facilitating their property to make sure they getting the best tenants, the most out of their property, and I make money doing it on the back end. You know what I mean? So that in a nutshell, I'm trying to guide my children to basically just watch what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And by watching, they could basically guide themselves on doing what they want to do, plus sliding real estate in that too. I mean, I'm just big on it. Residual, yeah, it's the name of the game to me. I know people that when they buy property, they'll get a duplex. Once getting a duplex, then they change it over to getting another duplex. Or they'll buy a single family home, let the equity build up in it. And once the equity build up in it, then buy another piece of property and rent that previous property out. So my thing to people is buy and hold. I enjoy studying it, I enjoy reading it, I enjoy understanding it. So that's what led me to property management, because all of that is in the same realm. So that's what I'm on, fam.
Okay, and where you from?
Nashville, born and raised. Edgehill Projects, from knee high. And what I mean by knee high is that I live down there all the way up into the time that my best friend, my brother, my love, he passed away. So once he passed away, it took me by storms. By taking me by storm, I had to change my whole mental aspect, because I didn't expect for a young man at 28 to die on me. You know what I mean? Once he died, it was like, bruh, I love where I'm from, but there got to be something different. And trying to find something different without a father figure is very, very hard, homie. So my mama loved me. Don't get me wrong. My mama loved me. So, but to me, it takes a man to raise a child. I got 5 sons, and 1 daughter. And my responsibility is making sure they straight. My responsibility is to make sure they don't get back in the situation that I come from. So raising them started to make me see, like, do I want my kids riding this wave, or is there a better wave for me to guide them to ride? So as far as my daughter, she's spoiled. She got 5 brothers, plus she got family, and they all boys. So she's always protected. But me personally, like I said, I ride with the Holy Ghost. So any man that's raising another man, you don't want him to be you. You want him to be better than you. Like I said, running with that just strives me better than anything. My son graduated college. He's in real estate. My daughter, she just previously graduated college. So by her graduating college, she's getting off in the law. So hopefully that would take us into a whole new realm of understanding what real estate law does. So it's all about building that foundation.
And you mentioned that you from Edgehill, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I basically grew up mainly in Antioch, right? And a lot of people, when they hear
that was serious too when we were young though. Antioch was the place to be though. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's money in Antioch. When we were young and you brought up Antioch, we thought money.
Yeah. People don't think that now.
No.
But no, so you said you from Edgehill, right? And I kind of want to just ask about that for, just for the people watching, because when people hear Edgehill, they immediately just think bad things, because usually when you hear about Edgehill, you hear bad things. And you said you grew up there, so can you maybe elaborate on why people have this bad perception, just about that area, Edgehill?
Well,
your opinion?
We're a product of our environment, and I don't think it's our fault. It's just where they put us in. So when it come down to Edgehill, I have friends that died over $5 dice games. Like straight up, not just one. You know what I'm talking about? And it was shootouts. Like I said, my best friend that I was telling you about, it was a situation where some dudes from another hood come through the drive. Nobody wanted to serve him, but my homie gonna stand up and be the man. And by him being the man, serving these dudes that we don't even know, they upped on him. They upped on me first. I'm silly enough then to argue with the dudes. We don't know if Adams. But I'm the one that they felt like they could harm him because they knew I was standing there to protect my brother. So at the end of the day, my brother ended up getting robbed. They made me leave with the strap in my face. So when going through stuff like that in the hood, I know us in the hood, we protected each other. When they started to migrate project to project, when they started to close down, we'll say North Nashville or East Nashville. Now you migrate these dudes that had this beef. So now they are in the same circle. And they already got problems, so they come to your hood, and next thing you know, that's when the beef started. So when the Edgehill get that type of name, it wasn't like that. I say back in the early '90s. When we started rolling up on the 2000s, that's when it really got harder, because everybody coming from different hoods started to want to mark on the territory, and beef started.
You know what? So being that somebody that grew up in Antioch, that's crazy that you say that, because with a lot of the gentrification that's been happening around, just Nashville, the Nashville area, a lot of people they go to Antioch, and I kind of see like a lot of that same thing, what you explaining, happening over time. I ain't even never just really thought about it like that, but it is a lot of people from different areas basically coming to this town, and that's crazy. Like,
you got like I said, I hate to say this, like I said, I got a license, so I gotta kind of watch what I say. But there's laws that set in place where people on the backside of it down at the commissioner's office, you know what I mean, the chambers, they see stuff, the 20-year plans, and we don't understand these 20-year plans, but it's written in paper. So if you go look at these plans, you start to see the justification of what they want Nashville to look like. I don't know if you remember back in Atlanta when they did the Olympics. I mean, you probably was young. So when they did the Olympics, man, they hit the hood. They just demolished the hood because they needed that spot. So same thing with what we go through now with Antioch. People are living downtown. You know, the downtown is totally different. Yeah. So where the people gonna go? So, and we was in a box downtown. So now we're in a box in other areas. Right. You know what I mean? Where they know they can control and contain. Yeah, I mean, I'm just from it, man. Like I said, it's one of those things where, you know, I ain't trying to say people bad, but it's just the way they do things. So if you're not knowledgeable enough to understand that, then you get yourself caught up in it. And you sit in it till a person come to you, and if you're willing to learn and listen, they can help you maneuver away from that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay, well, my first question regarding, you know, what you do, you know, real estate, you know, that's kind of broad, but, you know, we can dive deeper into it. I'm just kind of curious, and other people are probably wondering, it's like, why are you jumping into the content space? Like, why not just, you know, flip houses, and why not, you know, just collect, you know, your rent? Like, why, like, what's the goal from jumping into this type of stuff?
Well, I watch YouTube, you know what I mean, and I keep up with the younger generation, and when it comes down to teaching, you got to get in where you fit in. And with me understanding, this is the way that I know people can make lots of money on part-time situation. You can work a job, homie, and flip a house all at the same time. You don't have to be there to do it. You know what I'm saying? So me seeing real estate was the avenue that I needed, because I've been studying it since the early 2000s and reading up on it. And I'm not gonna say this is a fast game, but it's a hell of a retirement plan though. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, for real. Then once me being off into the rap culture, I'm seeing a lot of the rappers, a lot of the NBA stars, a lot of the football stars, it's the first thing they do.
Buy houses.
Go
buy property.
Go purchase a piece of property. Okay. You know what I mean? And once they purchase that piece of property, to me, they probably don't even understand that that's not a liability, that's an asset. So if they was to turn around and sell it, and I'm the man to help them with the transaction, then they gonna come to me to help them sell something that I helped them get in. And that's where the industry come in, far as like, everybody can't be the rapper. You know what I mean? Everybody can't be the football star. Everybody can't be the basketball star. Right. So I know there's a lot of money in real estate that we all need. And, you know what I mean? And your favorite rapper, that's what he doing. You know what I mean? On the back end, he giving the entertainment on the front end. On the back end, they giving the real estate game. Trust me, bro. You can look at any one of them. Tip. You know what I mean? Like, shout out to Tip, bro. I dream about being in front of that dude. But he's in real estate though. The Rick Ross situation, the Master P situation. Yeah, I mean, these are people that I grew up behind.
I heard Young Dolph had a lot of property.
Yeah. Dolph, you know what I mean? Like, Dolph had so much property, from my understanding, that it didn't make no sense.
For real.
But they all come from the streets though.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? They got it. They caught an avenue, which was rap. Once they caught the rap, then they moved into the real estate. So me, I'm like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? There's something up with this real estate thing. And learning it, once I started seeing the checks, I was like, dude, come on, man. Ain't no other way for me to make no money. There's no other way. Everybody need it. It's not going nowhere.
Yeah. So I can't remember exactly who I heard say this, but you'll hear a lot of people that's like in the financial world or just, that talk about crypto or just finances, period. They'll say that real estate is probably, when it comes to return on investment, it might be like a little bit down on the totem pole as far as like how fast you get it, but it's the safest because, like you're saying, like real estate ain't going nowhere. We're gonna always need a place to live. Is that true? Would you say that's true?
Man, the thing about real estate, you cannot put yourself in a box.
What you mean by that?
So, put myself in a box. I buy a piece of property, nephew. Like I said, I'm gonna give you some game.
Yeah.
I buy a piece of property, and I know I'm finna be paying we'll say a $2,000 mortgage payment.
Okay.
But you got people that need somewhere to stay.
Right. Always.
You know what I'm talking about? So by knowing that person needs somewhere to stay, I got this piece of property that I'm paying $2,000 on. I come to you and rap with you. You need a room. Hey man, everything is taken care of. Here go a room. Break bread with me. You know what I mean? Like I said, and you live good. But all at the same time too, now I got something that's helping me pay for this piece of property.
Okay.
And with that being said, not only that if they helping pay for the property, the value goes up in the property. So in 5 years, this person done stayed with me this whole 5 years. You know what I mean? Now, everything good on this end. My equity done went up. So once my equity done went up, if I kept everything straight with my credit, I can go give me some money. I can go get, like I said, it's not a fast thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's one of those things where knowing how to structure it. In real estate, man, there's so many ways to structure this bread. There's so many ways to get money in real estate. You don't have to be a real estate agent, bro. You could be a house inspector. They damn near getting about $400 a pop, and you do two of them a day. We don't have enough.
We don't have enough of the.
But we don't have enough inspectors.
Really? Do you know why?
Appraisals. It's a fast pace of real estate. I mean, you looking in this state, bro. The North Carolina, Nashville, Austin, Texas, Houston, down in Florida, all over, and they needing this type of, I say, the industry.
Yeah.
It's no different from the rap industry where you got the CEO. You got the CEO. He put out the rap content. It's basically no difference. So you got these investors that need somebody to go down in Florida and be their runner. You know what I mean? They making money and you making money. So that's the type of stuff that I know people like me and you need to understand.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You can go all over the United States and make this bread. You don't have to put yourself in a box. And don't believe nobody when they tell you that real estate ain't the thing no more. That's cap. I'm telling you, man, like for real. It just depends on who you get in front of and how they're structured. And you need to figure out how to make your money maximum profit.
Earlier you had said that you basically trying to make a difference.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
When you say
once I understand it now.
What you trying to make a difference doing, and what are you doing to try and make a difference?
Well, I'm in real estate. So when you need some advice, so you're trying to understand it more, and I help you do the research. I help you understand where you sit in real estate at this point, whether you're a beginner or whether you done bought something, or however you trying to excel. Right. So growing in that is something that I understand. Just like I just told you, if this man over here stuck in a situation where he tried to sell it and it ain't selling, He put it on for rent, and he can't rent it.
Oh, and just for clarification, like right now, this example, you talking about somebody that already got a house and working on selling it.
Yeah, like I said, it's both.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I said, if you ain't got the structure to, and you don't understand, but you want to understand, that's when you need to go find that person that understand it. I'm really big on mentor.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm really big on mentorship. I paid $5,000 to learn this from a dude that I didn't even know. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was broke. I didn't even have the money. You know what I mean? He was just like, for my time, you got to pay me 5 bands. But I wanted the time. You know what I mean? Like, and if people don't understand, Think and Grow Rich is a book. Neapolitan Hill. Think and Grow Rich will change your life. And that's what he had me to read. Once I read that, oh, it's on the popping. Like straight up, you know what I mean? Like for real. He break it down not only business savvy, he break it spiritually too, and how it aligns and what make you grow spiritually to know your destination. So when it come down to me helping people understand, I got a young man that's in St. Louis. Man, cat had all kinds of diamonds. I had all the money in the world, and he used to come and visit here. And this was back 2015 is when I met him. He had these diamonds. I was like, dude, bro, why you keep buying all these diamonds, man? Yeah, I can get him on the phone. Oh, man, I ain't studying that, man. You know, I said, man, you need to buy some of this property around here. Now, he looking at it, he'll tell you, like, dude, I should have listened to you a long time ago. At the time, I didn't have the bread. I just knew he had the bread. But now, he looking at it like, man, I should have jumped on that opportunity back then. But what I tell him now, you don't have to look at the opportunity back then in Nashville. He in St. Louis. It's happening the same way in St. Louis. So what he do? He sold all his diamonds, bro. Everything, all the assets, everything he thought was an asset, he sold it to buy properties, man. He 20 up in St. Louis.
20 properties.
20 properties. Renting them out Section 8. Getting a residual income, homie. Something to leave to his sons and his daughters. He had another young man come to me, he was like, bro, I got to move to Florida. This young man, he dreams about the corporate world. He want to be corporate. So he needed to move to get close to the corporate world. So, man, I got a property over here, man. I don't know what to do with it. So I was like, look, man, should I sell it? I was like, no, I'm big on residual income. So let me help you understand the steps to take to get you this residual income. So he took the steps, went to the bank, got him some bread, and moved all at the same time. Now, his property making the money. You know what I'm saying? And he ain't even in the state.
And you helped him understand that, though, basically.
Had to. It was my young brother. I had to. It was something that I needed to do. And by him listening, I can call him, put him on the phone. He'll straight up let you know. You know what I mean? Like I said, even my son didn't understand it either. Got out of college. He saved up his money for a whole 3 years. Because my thing was like, look, this is a long-term game. You're going to do this right. You got to understand long-term. Save up your bread. Saved up his bread 3 years later, man, went and put his own money down. He didn't get no FHA loan. You know what I mean? He went conventional. It's two different things. FHA, the government allows you money. Whether they're going to continue to do that, we don't know during these times. You know what I mean? But he went conventional. He spent his own $15K down. So by him spending that, he cut out a bunch of taxes on the back end.
And probably interest too.
Exactly. You know what I mean? But like I said, he stuck to the code. You know what I mean? And saved his bread. So now, once he got the property, I then showed him like, okay, this is what we're going to do to make sure that you straight. By putting somebody in there with him. Now he looking at me like, I'm ready to do nothing. No, slow down. You know what I mean? I showed you something. It's the maturity thing in it, because if you, to me, and what I learned from Think and Grow Rich, if you get it too fast, man, it'll mess your head up from what this book helped me understand. So it's a time and place to know anything. And if you might see so many millionaires when they're young, they get it, they blow it, they get it right back, but they blow it.
Not all the time, but yeah, they can get it back. But
well, you know,
I know what you're saying.
Oh, well, like I said, if it ain't, I would say the ones that's not all the time, they got that mentor to show them this ain't what you do. But most people, they get that bread, they blow it. They get it back, don't get me wrong, because they know how to get it. Mm-hmm. And once you know how to get it, you can get it again. Yeah. You know what I mean? But they blow it. So my thing is like, help you slow roll it, and once you get it, you'll be able to hold. That's my thing.
Because you know how to maintain it, is what you're saying, basically.
It's all about financial freedom. And financial freedom don't come fast.
Right.
Nipsey tried to help us understand this ain't a sprint, it's a marathon.
Right.
You know what I mean? You running, you tired the motherfucker at the end of a marathon. You know what I'm talking about? So, you know what I mean? It's sad that we lost his life, because I think he was on to something truly, truly big. But check out what he was doing. He bought the whole complex. Real estate. The whole complex, bruh. So, he built a school. He finna give you the game. We lost him. You feel what I'm saying? We lost that. So that's just Nipsey in a situation. You know what I mean? But like I said, it's a whole lot of rappers that talk about real estate in their raps. But getting down to the gist of it, they're not breaking it down step by step. Where they really getting their money from. So
are you basically saying that when you jumping into this content space, are you gonna be like one of the people that's like, I'm finna break this down and show y'all how to get this money?
It's all about if I can help you, however I can help you, because people are on different levels. So I can't be the person where I charge a person that don't know nothing about real estate. You feel what I'm saying? And it will become a point if once I build that relationship and they trust me good enough, then start to talking about the bread. But if you already at a point where you making money or you got a piece of property and you trying to understand it more, then that's when a consultation would come in. And depending on the structure is depending on where we need to go with the conversation, or if it needs to be any monies involved. You know what I mean? Because I tell you all the time, people's time is kind of precious. And when you got that in your possession, people need to know it. You ain't killing them, but you do want to pay. You want to be compensated a little bit for your time too. You know what I'm saying? And this space too, you know.
Hold on. When you say this space, exactly what you talking about?
The YouTube, the Facebook. You know what I mean?
Just the content space.
The algorithm.
Okay.
You know, I'm a type man. I was raised to try to cut out the middleman. Mm-hmm. So it's always been my mentality. Okay. So when I get off into wanting to know about something, I try to get off into the back end first. Mm-hmm. Know and understand how the money is rolling before I unfold and talk to people about what it is I want to help them learn. Because I don't necessarily want to make money off of the person. I would rather collect a residual check from YouTube. You know what I mean? And like I said, the back end. When I started to understand what was going on with algorithm, I started today. The same content that me and you are talking about is still gonna be rolling 5 years from now.
Yeah, content is forever.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So you and I do good. people want to hear what me and you are speaking about, and we speaking real, they gonna listen to it 5 years from now. Yeah. And they gonna make the call 5 years from now. And once I seen the back end of that, I'm like, oh, okay, this is how you really make the money. You know what I'm saying? So me understanding that part of it and knowing how the money came in, now I want to get on the front side of it, because I don't like the middleman. You know what I mean? Like, straight up, just like me getting in real estate. I don't like the middleman. If I got to go purchase me a house, I'm an agent. Why go to an agent when I can learn it myself, be my own agent, and make the money? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just me. Like I said, I'm infatuated with real estate. That's just me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Well, I got a question about something that I know just a lot of the general population want to know. And I hope that, you're able to give, an educated answer on this. You might not know, I don't know. But, when it comes to buying houses, I know that interest rates can make a difference, right? And or am I saying right?
Yeah, I'm glad the question came up, for sure.
So, if from my understanding, interest rates are higher than they were, from around 2019, 2020, was that when it was pretty low, right? It was lower than it was today.
Yeah, right. 2019, 2018, but that was just to get people back into buying real estate.
Okay. So my follow up to that is basically, you can ask some people, and why haven't you, gotten a house yet? Like, why you still paying rent? And they'll say, well, interest rates are high. I'm waiting on the interest rates to come down. As somebody that is in, that field as a profession, would you advise people to try and wait for it to come down? Because, like, what if it never does come down?
It
ain't. Why?
Yeah, I mean, it made me drop a point. When we flipped the house that we had in Antioch, we got a 2.25. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And people thought that was gonna stay around forever. That was
the 2.25.
2.25. They messed up letting people sign on loans they couldn't even afford it back in the day. We got caught up in it, bro. So it was an adjustable mortgage. And what adjustable mortgage is, when you first signed it on the dotted line, it was a 6%. 2 months later, it could be a 14%. 2 months later, it could be a 8%. That was the adjustable mortgage situation, because what they did was, you couldn't afford it, so they already had investors sitting waiting to break bread with you to get you in this piece of property. So you start out in it with two mortgages. You start out with the bank mortgage, and you started out with the investor that got a mortgage. There's a first mortgage and a second mortgage. So a lot of people, they couldn't afford it, but they had these investors that were spending the money. Banks were signing off on it. Situation come now, all these people that signed off on these mortgages that was adjustable, they don't know if, like I said, it could be a 14% interest rate. So seeing that type of interest rate and seeing what we got going on now, that 2 is gone. You know what I mean? Like, that 2, that 4 is gone. We might get to a mid-5, but that stuff is gone. Because, like I said, we come out of the recession and they needed to do that. So, as far as the interest rates now, I tell people, don't be scared of it. Because interest rates is where they are, but properties are still going up. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, if I'm locked in at a 7% right now, in 10 years, when I still got this piece of property, whether I'm renting or whether I'm staying in, the equity done skyrocketed, bro.
Right.
So by it skyrocketing, I'm locked in at a 7 if it don't ever go back down. Say 10 years from now, we be at a 10. You locked in at a 7. That's why I say the 2 that ain't coming back. You know what I mean? Like I said, we back in the 70s, they were buying houses for $17,000. We in 2025. Ain't no more, you ain't gonna find $17,000, bro. You know what I mean? But like I said, that's just me being in real estate and me understanding the decades, how it's moving. You know what I mean? When the recession happened, what the recession did. So now it's at a point. I don't think people need to be scared about that, because you got your mindset on this. But what if it don't ever come? You're gonna see everything go past you when you missed out on the opportunity, thinking you're gonna get this, but it never came back.
Right.
So when it come down to stuff like that, man, and two, you maximize your piece of property. That's a business. Most people look at it as a dwelling. Once you get tired of it, you get tired of that dwelling and you want another dwelling, because you're going to get tired of it. It ain't new to you no more. So you want another dwelling, now you look like, okay, should I sell or should I rent? I'm going to tell you to rent. Residual income.
You talking about rent out the property that people may get tired of?
Yeah, you rent that. Because that piece of property is going to help you pay for the new one that you just moved in. Why would I sell it and get the money up front? And I very well may blow it if I ain't got nowhere to put that money. Mm-hmm. And with real estate, it's the best way to maneuver money. You making a whole lot of money in corporate. You take your 401k or what have you. You vested in real estate. You know what I mean? It ain't gonna just sit on the shelf. That money gonna move. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm not big on stocks. You know what I mean? I'm feeding off the land. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
I got another question that, a lot of, it's a discussion that I see, and you may just hear, people talking about it when they talk about properties. As somebody, like, have you dealt with HOAs, homeowners associations?
Yeah. Most communities, they building is what they are.
Okay, so give me your general thoughts on HOAs. Like, are they good or bad for like?
HOA is, it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. HOA gonna keep the community looking accordingly. You know what I'm saying? The parking on the streets, the trash cans. Make sure the trash can's straight. Making sure your grass is cut. You know what I mean? Like, so when I want to sell my piece of property, I ain't got no problems. Okay. You see what I'm saying? That's the thing about HOA. Now, just depending on which HOA that you involved in, when you sit in a request, that's when people have problems.
Request
for like a light post out. You know what I mean? Do you got disturbance over here? Or things like that. That's what the HOA for.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna say nothing bad about HOA because they keep things.
They keep the communities in order.
That's what they do.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying?
So what's the cons? What's some cons?
The cons is getting in touch with them. To me, you know what I mean? Like when stuff go, people don't like because you got to pay fees. You know what I mean? If you structure it right, you can write that off.
The homeowners association fees on your taxes.
You can write it off. You see what I'm saying? So it's just the stuff that people don't understand that that put a bad taste in people's mouth about stuff like that when they don't understand. If I structure it this way, I ain't got to worry about that because you know what I mean. It's helping me at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like my house is my office. So in my business, I get to write that off. I also paying my rent, but it's my house. My business is paying the rent for my house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That legit.
Yeah, I get it.
And I get to write it off.
Yeah.
It's hard in the paint, bro. Like I said, it's hard in the paint. And a lot of people, where we come from, we don't understand it. And renting is kind of no difference. People are thinking, well, I would say this, and this is a fact. If you think I'm tripping, you go listen to Robert Kiyosaki. Back 2020, he made a comment and said that they are moving forward to rental America. Rental America is no longer the American dream. It's rental America. So me, like, okay, a lot of people fixing to be renting. Why not it be me that they rent from? Right. You know what I'm saying? Because you helping me at the end. Them dudes at the Wall Street, they buying up all of it. They buying up all of it, bro. That's why you see so many investors. They buying up all of it. And like I said, you gotta kind of gotta watch the trend. Just like I was saying about St. Louis. Like I told you, my homie, he living in St. Louis. One man bought the whole downtown. One investor bought the whole entire downtown on one of those sides of St. Louis. So when stuff like that started to happen, why did he buy the whole downtown? From my understanding, before Nashville jumped off, it was about 5 investors that started putting all that money into downtown. My hood, that was 12th Avenue, is now 12th South.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing but $1 million houses around the hood, bro.
Oh, you know what? I see this comment and somebody even say this. Mayr, he even said this. I'm gonna play the clip.
You from Mississippi, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong.
What high school did I go to?
I don't know. You tell me. I went there with you.
Antioch High School, my nigga.
You went to Antioch High School.
Yes, nigga, all 4 years.
All
but
4
nigga,
years.
hold on, this ain't my interview.
I mean, 4 years in high school don't mean that's where you from.
Nigga, that's where I went to middle school, elementary school. I was born here. I've been here after high school, nigga.
So what was you doing in Mississippi?
My mama thought it was... Bruh, this is your interview, my nigga. Come on now.
Yeah, it's my interview. But what I'm saying is like,
nigga,
stop trying to tell.
My mama got a house in Mississippi in like 2007.
That's great.
Remember, that's like when the recession
Housing
happened.
market and all that.
Exactly.
And that's
So
when
we
niggas
came
should have
back.
been buying up all them East Nashville houses.
Right.
And y'all went it. See, niggas would still be in East Nashville right now if niggas had bought them, but we couldn't. Everybody broke.
A lot of people talk about how, you know, a lot of us would still be in East Nashville because I think that's like one of the most known areas of Nashville that was like starting to get, you know, gentrified first. He said that, I mean, a lot of people would say, I mean, if people would have just made sure that they bought property in East Nashville wouldn't be as gentrified as it is today. Or, you know, it would still be a lot of people that grew up there still there. Well, what's your thoughts on, you know, just that?
Like I said, I've been around here. We had that tornado back in 2020.
Right.
And it went straight through East. Now it's historic. That's why I made my first 30,000 out East, West East Cleveland Street. I made my first $30,000 off a piece of paper.
Off a flip.
Off a piece of paper, assignment. It's called an assignment. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't have my license then, but that's when East Nashville was basically taking off right after the tornado. I don't know if the tornado had something to do with it, but everything was historic. And if you know anything about historic, they can't tear the house down. They have to restructure the inside. That's really why all of it still looks the same. They couldn't tear the house down.
Why?
It's historic. I guess from the tornado. I don't know. You know what I mean? But those houses, if you go out East Nashville, those same houses, you very seldom see a tall and skinny up there. That's them narrow ones or what have you. Mm-hmm. They was historic, especially Main Street. Main Street, the tornado came straight down Main Street. Them was the first houses that they started to remodel. And like I said, Cleveland Street is right there. So me personally, when they turned to historic, and like I told you, it was already in the plans to start to regentrify. I think I'm saying the word right.
Gentrified, yeah.
Nashville is already in the plans.
Yeah, it's been happening.
Yeah, it's been in the plans. That's what I'm saying. So that just wrapped it up. Well, okay, Music City. When they put that, what's the guitar building down there?
Guitar building.
The museum, country music museum, the CMA. They having it right now.
Right.
When they put that building down there, oh man, there was no stopping in. Downtown was different. You know what I mean? It was blacks downtown. You know what I mean? We owned downtown. Once that guitar building got put up, everything changed. Cause we was now really, we've been the country music city. Now it's music city. It ain't country no more. They took the country off of it. Now it's music city. When we was younger, it's country music city. So once that happens, now you got all these investors coming in. They bringing in the tourists. Now here come the jobs. Now everything is expensive downtown. You know what I mean? There was one time, man, you didn't want to go downtown. You know what I'm talking about? Like straight up. It was that hard downtown.
Yeah. So do you think they made a good move by changing downtown into
Man, I love it. I ain't gonna stunt. I love it. I'm in real estate, so I like what the city has done. But it's all about helping us get into it though. You know what I'm saying? Just don't have it simple like this is going on in downtown, this is going on downtown, or what have you. Get yourself in position to be a part of it. And that was my whole thing. You know, like I said, I done sold some property downtown. So at the end of the day, that's how you get yourself involved. And then you understand, like, okay, yeah, I'm making money and I like it. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up, I'm just in real estate. You know what I mean? So people may seem different, but the times is changing, man. Like everything changed. Everything ain't gonna be the same. It's just all about us getting in position to maximize too.
Okay, so I got a question that has actually been a topic, or not even a topic, because it's not something like I bring up, but a few people like that. I didn't interview really a handful of people from, you know, East Nashville, or out east as they say. But what are your thoughts on, you know, the people that used to be able to live there, they can't afford to live there now they have to, you know, move elsewhere, and, you know, it kind of changed their whole situation?
Man, you can afford to live anywhere if you put your mind to it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm just big on thought. And if you want something bad enough, if I'm living in East Nashville and I want to stay in East Nashville, I'm gonna figure out a way to live, you know, like straight up. So, do I like what's being done as far as like the people that were living there and the people that's moving in there now? No, I don't like it, because I think there should be some kind of program to help the people that's living there live there. Yeah. You know what I mean? And there's ways to do it. But if you don't have the education to honestly do it, ain't nobody gonna tell you, bro. You know what I mean? Like for real, if me personally, if I owned a house in East Nashville, homie, you think they can move me out? No, I'm gonna do exactly what's going on. I'm gonna tear down and make me something. And and make me, you know what I mean? I'm gonna make me something and then make money from the other side.
Yeah, I feel you.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But like I said, you got to get in front of the right people for the right people to talk to you. All you have to do is go to the bank and just tell them what you got in your hand. This is what I got. What I gonna do with it? They looking to make money. You know what I'm talking about? And before you know it, you stumbled up on being an investor. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? If I owned a house in East Nashville, from what I understand, and me making the money out there. So, we just need to do our due diligence, bro. Like straight up, just do our due. If I'm in that situation, read up on why I'm in that situation. Start Googling YouTube. What can I live in East Nashville. I own a piece of property. What could I do? You know what I mean? The internet gonna tell you. You know what I mean? That AI thing, man, it's gonna straight up let you know. Man, I'm talking about that, man. What you off into, bro? It didn't change the world, man. It didn't change the world. Like I said, I've been watching What Sleep since TV since you started the situation. Yeah. And the consistency and where you sit at this point, bro, it's like no other. And the knowledge that you have obtained to get here, and the consistency, and who shows up, you put out good content, people listening to you. People wants to follow what you're doing. So I'm like, okay, I'm in a position where I think I can make it happen too. But what I understood about What Sleep TV is the consistency that he obtained. And all I gotta do is keep it consistent. Cause like I said, in 5 years, people gonna look at me and you like, damn, they did this back then. Look what it done turned into. Cause it's gonna turn into something. It ain't no doubt in my mind.
Well, you talking about what is it?
Yeah, well, What Sleep TV?
What Sleep.
You know what I mean? Real estate with Perry. It's gonna long as we keep it consistent, it's gonna turn into something.
Yeah, and I kind of wanted you to, to talk about that. Can you tell me about the real estate with Perry? Is that supposed to be like a channel? Like what?
Currently, it's just a website, but it's my brand.
Are you planning to start a channel? Like what's your plan with content?
Yeah, with content is I want to start a massive channel. Okay. Yeah, and it's just all about understanding the lane with what I know to be true. You know what I mean? What I know to be true is real estate. You know what I mean? The lane is where I'm trying to get to a better understanding. So that's the reason why I kind of read up on it and want to learn how you put things together. You know what I mean? Like on stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's a whole team of people with what you got going on. You need an editor, you know what I mean? You need a person that will create the thumbnails. You know what I'm saying? You need some people need a voice, what you call it?
A voiceover.
A voiceover. You know what I mean? Like it's just so much that I find intriguing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? By me finding it intriguing, like, man, okay, yeah, I like it. So when it come down to getting on a platform like What Sleep TV, I look at What Sleep TV. I don't put it in a box. You might put it in a box, but I don't put it in a box. And the reason why I say I don't put it in a box, because What Sleep TV ain't just signifying rap. I'm up 2 o'clock in the morning, strolling. What Sleep TV pop up? What Sleep TV? Oh shit, I need to get on What Sleep TV. I need to get on What Sleep TV. What Sleep? I'm up. I'm watching this shit. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So with me watching it, I'm like, now let me talk to that man, because I don't think it need to be in the box just because of what it stands for.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. I appreciate it.
You see what I'm saying?
It's helping me get into something new. Well, it's helping me, like you said, get out of that box that it kind of is in, because people know What Sleep mainly just for music interviews and just
I mean, like I said, I'm big on music. I mean, that's the main reason why like I said, I kind of watch it. I watched you travel when you was going to Memphis. You know what I mean? And back in the day when Residual first hit the spot. You know what I mean? Like this was before his big song popped off. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things where I'm seeing the consistency, and if I got the opportunity, you know what I mean, this is what I would like to do. You know what I mean? And I think this the name itself is something that I just want to be part of. Okay. What Sleep TV? I just want What Sleep. So like I said, in 5 years, man, I pray we doing hella numbers. So you ain't get paid. You get paid, I get paid. You know, that's what I'm on.
I think this is gonna be real good for my brand, and it's gonna help you dive into your content, because I think what's gonna motivate you, because me and Lito, we talked about this in our last interview, and I talk about this with people that make content all the time, but it's kind of like a high for people to basically consume your content, and like they'll say like, yeah, I really watched that, and the whole time, like, think about like just what we doing right now. A lot of people don't know what goes into, editing it, all that stuff.
Yeah, the back end. I call it the back end.
Yeah, the back end, all that stuff. Yeah, but when somebody respond to it good, not even just good, but bad stuff too. Because I got a video that's at like 100K right now, and this got probably 80% negative comments. That's about Eminem and Peasy and stuff. But I'll show you. But it's kind of like a high to just see people react to, you know, the work that you're doing and stuff. And I think once this interview comes out and you start seeing like the comments, you see people interacting with you, like, or somebody might say, man, this dude don't know what he talking about, this ain't right, this and that. It's kind of like,
yeah, I mean, like, I'm not a lawyer,
but so, it's gonna be a good, I'm telling you though, it's gonna motivate you. It's gonna motivate you, is what I'm saying though. So I'm actually really excited to get this out. But I just want to ask real quick, because I want to do a follow up with you too after all this comes out.
This is my honor, man. Yeah, I mean, this is what I've been wanting to do. You know what I'm talking about? This is what it is.
Well, before we wrap up though, is there anything that we ain't talk about that you know you want to touch on, or anything you want to ask me?
When it come down to what sleep TV, yeah, I mean, what is it that you search for and ongoing? Because what I do understand is there's a lot of people that want to be what sleep TV, and I also watch a lot of stuff that goes on. And me personally, when it comes down to the new era and what's in front of y'all, y'all can touch the whole world. It ain't just Edgehill, it ain't just Nashville, it ain't just Tennessee. Right. Y'all can touch the whole world. Yeah. So when it comes down to the young men that's here in Nashville doing podcasts, I often think like, man, if them boys was to get together and go get a building, and say you got 4 dudes doing podcasts. I get this from, like I said, I watch a lot of YouTube. Mm-hmm. So, No Jumper bought a building, and he got all these podcasts going on. Yeah. And these dudes is going from door to door on each other's podcasts. You know what I mean? That's the back end. That's what I say about the back end. So when it come down to people around here and getting Nashville to the point where, cause like I said, I keep up with the industry, and people talking about, man, ain't nobody here in Nashville. Man, it's been money in Nashville, and to me, blacks still run it. You know what I mean? You got people moving in, but all at the same time too, you know, when it come down to people knowing what we're about, if the podcasters would create a coalition, you know what I mean, then invite a person like me, an ordinary guy, that come in, and I'm on all 5. I mean, we'll say it's 4 podcasts in there. I can get on 4 podcasts in one day. I booked with What Sleep TV. I paid What Sleep TV, but all at the same time, I got the opportunity to go to this platform. Now I done touched so many people.
It's kind of like hard not to notice.
Yeah, man, it's like in an hour and 30 minutes. You see what I'm saying? So and that be my thing with it. You know what I mean? Whoever got the platforms, like I said, cause I keep up with Nashville. You know, like I said, I'm a Nashville native. You know what I mean? I can call rappers out, man, east, south, west, you know, north. You know what I mean? Like I said, I've been in it. But now it's the podcast era. So, and if the podcast ain't on the same page, and we trying to build a bigger brand, how we gonna build it? If everybody is, this person said this about me, this person says this about me, but all at the same time we ain't came and sat down at the table and do something like I just thought about. You know what I mean? All of us get in one room. You know what I mean? Get this book. This person do a whole route. You know what I mean? I'm in real estate, man. You got people that's in real estate, man. You got people that's in nursing. You know what I mean? You got people we're just ordinary people just trying to build a brand and don't know where to go. But y'all got it. So, and y'all got the numbers. So if I sit there and go through that room in one day and get on 4 podcasts in one day, do you know how much that'll help me and what it'll do for the podcasters? Oh man, it get real serious.
We're just gonna have to post it. I'm gonna literally clip that all of what you said, and then we just gonna see what the response is.
I'm just keeping it real. Yeah, you know what I mean, like we in it to build each other. You Yeah, I mean, I'm all about positivity, fam. You know, so I seen a gangster. You know what I mean? I was a hood Negro. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I done got old enough where I don't even want you to fall victim to anything like that. You know what I mean? There's no way that we could build if we all tearing. That's just what I'm on, man. If you know what I mean? 'Cause like I said, everybody got a voice. Just create something that will bring the people and everybody eat. 'Cause it's enough for all of us. And I don't care what you do. You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it real.
Oh, so I know you're on Instagram, but tell them where they can connect you.
Real estate _ a real _ estate _ with _ Perry is my IG.
Okay.
Look me up on Facebook. You know what I mean?
Real estate with Perry.
It's just it'll pop up, but just put my name in there. You can also go to Google. Just Google Perry Davis Realtor, and all the platforms I'm on is gonna show up. You know what I'm saying? I'm in real estate, so I'm licensed. So all that you gonna see every last bit of that. You know what I mean? Like I said, but I just encourage people to try to be better than me. That's my thing. Whether I can help or whether I could direct you to somebody that can help you. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm here for. Straight up.
Sure. I appreciate you for your time, man.
Man, well, sleep. Don't get caught sleeping, watching what sleep. You know what I'm talking about.
Sure.
That's where I'm at with it.